Hi friends, I'm Sarah. Welcome to my kitchen. It's that time of year again when I want to get things organised and start to feel a little bit more on top of things. So I am doing a small kitchen reorganisation today. I've only got an hour ahead of me and I've got a few things that I need to sort out, and I'm just going to see what I can get done in that hour. There are some cupboards here that are feeling really overwhelming and I just can't find what I need in there anymore. So I need to go through those cupboards, sort things out, throw things away and just get things a little bit more organised. Now there is a reason why I want to get things more organised in the kitchen, apart from the fact that it's the new year and we're all full of good resolutions in January, but we're hoping to have some work done on our kitchen and I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. So I want to get things a little bit more organised and just make sure that there's nothing hanging around in the kitchen that is not necessary and doesn't need to be there. So the work that we're going to be doing on the kitchen, hopefully, is we're going to be redoing the walls. We're considering maybe putting beadboard underneath the cupboards here. There are other things that I need to do. I'm going to get the camera and show you. So I'm just going to show you my kitchen at the moment. It looks fine like this, but there are some things that are really, need some attention. So you might have already noticed that the paintwork is not great. In fact, some of it is actually peeling off the walls. So we definitely need to redo the paint and we're probably going to go for an off-white cream colour. Also, this backsplash here is not great. They didn't put it on properly, so we need to change that. And I don't quite know what we're going to do. Probably some tiling behind there. I'm not sure if the tiling will go with beadboard, so that all might change. We'll have to wait and see. Now please excuse the tea towels drying on the radiator, but I'm going to cover up this radiator so that I'll have a shelf above there and that'll give me a little bit more space in the kitchen. And also the windows need resealing because, as you can see, the paint is peeling off here too and the damp is coming through, so we need to sort that out. And although we didn't do our kitchen very long ago, the counter is already becoming damaged, so it has burnt here and it's coming off, the laminate is coming off in other places, so we're considering replacing the counters as well, although that's quite a big budget, so we might not do that. We need to decide. So those are the different things that we're thinking of working on in the kitchen. But for now, since I don't exactly know when the work is going to be done, I'm just going to be doing some clearing up and organising. So let's get started. This is where I keep all of my bulk herbs and spices. So I just pour what I need into some small containers that I have in a drawer by the cooker and keep the rest of the big packets up here. And I also keep some of our dried fruits up here. These are the ones that we don't use very often. I do have containers for the dates and pecans because we use those quite often. Now this cupboard is also where I keep the pasta and rice that we are currently using. So there's a lot here because since I first organised this cupboard, we've really cut down on the amount of pasta that we're eating. So Now I've got quite a few open packets. I'm not really sure if things are still in date. I don't even know where this has come from because I can't remember the last time we ate these biscuits. I think in England we call them Melba toast. They're good, but they are full of really bad ingredients, so I'm just going to get rid of these. So I'm just going to go through and check the expiration dates, get rid of what has gone out of date, and then organise the rest. I'm going to need my glasses for this. So I've gone through all of that, and now I can work on getting it back in the cupboard. This is a funny cupboard. It's a turntable cupboard, but it does have a flat shelf on the bottom. So I like to put things like these nori sheets, which we use when we make homemade sushi, which is not very often admittedly, but we like to have it occasionally. And also a couple of things like kimchi and miso soup, and of course some tortillas. I have 2 pots of quinoa here, so I'm going to put them together. And then I'm just going to put all of my open pasta in one jar. These are some einkorn pasta that I bought. I haven't dared to give them to my boys yet because they're not fresh milled, but I'm thinking maybe they're getting to the stage where they can have some of these, so maybe I'll treat them to some einkorn pasta soon. So to put everything back in here, I'm going to be putting the jars at the front so that I can see what's in them and use them really easily, and the open packets behind, and the open packets are generally things that I don't use very often. So this feels a lot better. I have the things that I use the most low down and at the front, as well as things that I don't want to forget that I have, that I can use in some recipes. And the things that are more rare that I use, they're at the top there. Now I'm quite embarrassed about this next drawer. It's a drawer that has things like honey for breakfast, but it's also where I put different snack things. So the few industrial snacks that we have are in this drawer, as well as some chocolate sprinkles that I brought back from Holland and things like that. It's a drawer that the kids get into a lot. It's got a lot of sticky things in there and it's a real mess, so I really need to tackle this one. Oh my word. That was actually disgusting. It's so sticky. I really need to get on top of this, so I'm going to go and get the vacuum cleaner, get the crumbs up, and then give it a good wash. Everything's clean. I can start putting things back in. So I'm going to keep the honey together in this tray, which is going to be easier to keep clean, along with my nut and seed butter. These are the chocolate sprinkles that we like to get when we go to Holland, just as a treat. And I keep these cereal bars for my son who does a lot of sport and he likes to have a snack in his bag. In this drawer I also like to keep some baking items, so I've got my cookie cutters, I've got the lentils that I use when I'm blind baking pastry, and there we are. While I've got the vacuum out, I'm going to attack my baking drawers as well because I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of baking over the next few weeks, so I want them to be nice and clean and tidy so that I can see what I've got. Now, doing these baking drawers is one of the best things that I've ever done in my kitchen, and I will put a video on the screen above that will show you how I went about reorganising my kitchen and why I decided to do it that way. These are flowers that I don't use very often because I mill my own flour, but I like to have a couple on hand in case of emergency. Well, that's all the decluttering and reorganisation that I've got time for today. I shall be doing some more over the next few days, but I'm really happy to have got those few cupboards sorted because they were really getting on my nerves. So let me know in the comments below if you're decluttering and reorganising this new year. And also don't forget to check out the video when I reorganised my whole kitchen to have different zones. That was a really big help for me in staying organised in my kitchen. I'll leave that on the end screen for you. I'll see you next time, friends. Bye.